This is a problem that we all face. We use our smartphone camera, whether it's an iPhone or an Android. We're going to run into this issue, especially if we use our camera often and maybe not just take pictures, but take videos. And that is that our iPhones will fill up quickly. Mine does pretty actively, fills up, and I have to do a couple things. I have to purge out some of the images that I'm no longer needing or videos I no longer need. But at some point, I can't get rid of them, and I still need a solution. The solution is to move the images and videos from your iPhone to some other device. I did some research and I found 5 different ways, 5 different solutions that you could use to offload your images out of your iPhone. I did this all around iPhone, but this is relevant to Androids as well, to be able to move your images off your iPhone to one of these other solutions. The 5 solutions I looked at include these. First and foremost, iCloud. Apple iCloud, which is pretty easy to integrate to your iPhone because you have an iCloud account, because you need an iCloud account to set up your iPhone, and all you need to do is make sure you have enough space in your iCloud account to be able to put the images that you want to put. The second solution I looked at is Gmail or Google Workspace. Whether you're using free Gmail or you're using the premium Google Workspace, which is typically associated with business, you have Google Photos. And with Google Photos, there is an app that you can put on an iPhone that you can sync all of your images from your iPhone into Google Photos. The issue here, very similar with iCloud, is you need to have enough space to put your photos and your videos in Google Photos. The third thing I looked at is Dropbox. If you have a Dropbox account, and by the way, Dropbox is for way more than just photos. You can have Dropbox synced to your PC, to your Mac, so that all your files or whatever files you want are stored in Dropbox, i.e. the cloud, and not just on your computer. But if you have a Dropbox account, you can use a Dropbox app that will sync your photos from your iPhone into a folder or into Dropbox Photos. The next thing I looked at is Microsoft 365, which used to be called Office 365. With Microsoft 365, you can also put an app on your iPhone that will sync your iPhone photos and store them in your Microsoft Cloud solution. And the last thing I looked at is Amazon Photos. Amazon Photos, you have access to that if you have an Amazon Prime account, and many of us do. But if you have an Amazon Prime account, you have unlimited photo storage. The one change here or difference is that by default, you only get 5 gigabytes of video space. And you have to pay extra for some of the others to have enough space to store anyway. You have to pay extra for you to have more videos. And videos in Amazon Prime are not saved with your photos. They have to be saved in what's called a shared album. But anyway, I looked at and I actually set up each of these different solutions on my iPhone to demonstrate how you would use these 5 different cloud-based solutions to be able to save your images and videos off of your iPhone into a cloud-based solution where you could manage them, share them, and even enjoy them. Now, I'm not going to go into too deep for the pricing, but let me show you what I built out this pricing spreadsheet, and I'll put a link of this to this spreadsheet into the YouTube video description. And what I showed is that, free Gmail, you get 15 gigs of space. If you want more with free Gmail, you can upgrade to as much as 200 gigabytes for more storage. With Google Workspace, you get 30 gigabytes of what's called pooled space. So if you have 2 users on your Google Workspace account, you actually get 60 gigs. And you can also switch to what's called Google Workspace Business, and you can have pooled space with 2 terabytes, which again 2 users, you'd get a total of 4 terabytes, which is not an unreasonable pricing. But you can also, with Google Workspace, you can add an extra 100 gigs, an extra terabyte, and even an extra 10 terabytes for these kinds of numbers. And all of that is pooled space that all of your users on this domain would have access to. Then we have Dropbox. Dropbox starts at 2 terabytes for a reasonable price, but you can go to 3 terabytes for even still another reasonable price. Then we have Apple Photos. Apple Photos is if you're using your iCloud account, you have 5 gigabytes of space, which is not a lot. But for an extra 12, you can go to 50, and for an extra 120 a year, you can go to 2 terabytes. You can go as much as 12 terabytes for $700 a year. And then we have Prime. With Prime, unlimited photos is $139 a year, which is the standard Prime account cost. Now, you have 5 gigabytes of video space included in that, but you can increase your video storage to 50 gigs, 100 gigs, as much as 2 terabytes for upwards of up to $144 more a year. And then the last thing I looked at was Microsoft 365. And this is the free account. You have 15 gigs of storage, but you can pay for 365 Basic, Personal, and Family. Basic takes you to 100 gigs of space. Personal is 1 terabyte of space. And this is really interesting and a little hard for me to even understand. If you go to 365 Family, if you have 6 members of your family using the account for a total of $129.99, then you get 6 terabytes of space, but you only get 1 terabyte per user. So this is a little restrictive, but if you have multiple users, you might want to use that pricing, even though you're still limited to 1 terabyte per user. But anyway, that's the pricing model I put together, all about these different tools: Amazon, Microsoft, Apple iCloud, Google Workspace, and Dropbox. All focused on this solution, and that is your iPhone is full and you need to move some pictures and videos off. I'm not telling you which one to use. I'm just suggesting that you look at these different solutions. For me, I've discovered, because I'm using Google Workspace, that it made more sense for me to upgrade to a larger storage because I've already had that in place. But if you don't have Google Workspace, if you're not using Dropbox, if you're not using Microsoft, and you don't want to use Amazon Prime, then the best answer may be use iCloud and just upgrade to a larger amount of space so that you have enough space to put all of your photos and all your videos into Apple Photos in iCloud. Now, I went through each of these products: Dropbox, Google Business and Gmail, Apple iCloud, Microsoft OneDrive, and Amazon Photos. I created 5 different videos that I'll give you the links to those videos in the description of this YouTube video. Just go look at the description. And so you can go look at those and see how I set them up, see how I use them, how I backed up images to them, so that you can see, is this the right tool for me? Thank you very much for letting me share this with you. I hope this is helpful and it helps you get past this dilemma that you're out of space.